Hello, I'm Don.
I'm Jason.
And we'll be attempting to answer, should the UK adopt fracking to get more access to natural gas? Fracking is a process by which natural gas is extracted from pockets in underground shale rock. A well is drilled into the rock, often about 2 miles deep and extended horizontally by up to the same distance. A mixture of water and chemicals is pushed into the well at high pressure, fracturing the pockets and allowing the gas to escape to the surface and be captured. Fracking has been accused of causing drinking water pollution and earthquakes, so is it really safe? We'll hear from both sides of the fracking debate and judge for ourselves. First we'll hear from Sam from Quadrilla Resources. What are the main key positive points about fracking?
Well, fracking is one of the quickest advancing forms of fossil fuel technology. A main advantage of using natural shale gas is that in the last 5 years alone, an equivalent of 2 Saudi Arabia's worth of oil have been found in the form of natural shale gas under the United States, which will buy us, as the human race, much more time to develop efficient, renewable energy sources. The vast majority of countries in Europe and the Americas have a large reserve of shale gas within their borders, which means that they can become much less dependent on other countries for their energy demands. This can be well expressed by looking at the United Kingdom's reliance on Russia for natural gas. Allowing us to be less dependent on a country like Russia for gas will obviously be a positive thing, especially considering the current state of Russian foreign policy.
Where does fracking stand with regard to pollution compared with, say, coal?
Well, reports and scientific studies from 2011 have stated that over a 20-year span, compared to conventional gas sources, shale gas produces an average of 26% less carbon dioxide per joule of energy produced. Overall, considering that shale gas is so widely available in so many different countries around the globe, the transport of fossil fuels will also be reduced, thus reducing the carbon footprint of fracking compared to conventional fossil fuels even more.
Are the chemicals that are used harmful, and how can the discovery of higher than recommended levels of arsenic, selenium and strontium in more than 100 wells in Texas be explained?
Well, the chemicals used can be harmful, yes, but only when in much higher concentrations than ever used at fracking sites, and only become significantly harmful to humans through prolonged exposure over many years. It must be remembered that human error occurs in any form of energy production, with a prime example being the BP Deepwater Horizon oil rig explosion in 2010. When compared to events like this, the scope for disaster of a fracking site is relatively small.
Lastly, we have Catherine from the Green Party. What are the disadvantages of fracking?
The main disadvantage of fracking is the chemicals used in the process. The University of Missouri researchers found the chemicals can severely damage the hormone production in humans. These chemicals can contaminate groundwater, and in Texas, 100 private wells have a higher than recommended amount of arsenic, selenium and strontium, which has been caused by fracking nearby.
A new study found that in the US, fracking caused an energy boom that has created about 2 million jobs. Do you think the UK could also benefit from this technological innovation?
Well, the disadvantages of fracking are far too large. If the groundwater in the UK got contaminated, it would cause a massive amount of problems because of the fact that most of the drinking water comes from deep groundwater supplies. The benefits would not be worth contaminating the main water supply.
Okay. What do you think if there is a possibility of UK to be powered for the next 50 years?
There are other ways to power the UK. Long-term health studies haven't been able to be carried out, so we shouldn't be relying on this method of powering the UK. We don't actually know what the long-term effects of fracking could have.
To conclude, fracking is providing abundant energy and building local economies. However, fracking has been linked to some minor earthquakes, and there are concerns about its possible environmental impact. Although it is not a perfect technology, natural gas will likely allow the United States and other nations to reduce their carbon outputs considerably, while maintaining their energy generation.
To answer the original question, should the UK use fracking to get access to more natural gas? We believe the answer is yes, eventually. And we should probably wait and see how the health studies turn out after analysing the data in the US, and as long as it's carried out safely and effectively, there should be no problem with the UK adopting fracking in the future.